tank fly, boss walk, jam, nitty gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is Jam Hot. This is Jam Hot.
On the eve of Rabbie Burns Night, the Scottish cyclocross community descended upon the Bards' hometown of Ayr for the second round of the inaugural Superquay series. It was a far milder day than we had experienced at Rooken Glen, or Narnia as it could have easily been dubbed. With that milder weather came water, and with water comes mud. Ayr Burners cycling had set out a delight of a course in Roselle Park with slippy off cambers and some significant sections of running for all of the riders. They say it takes either a lot of arrogance or a certain amount of lunacy to refer to oneself in the third person. Well, David Hamill of Pedal Power could probably be accused of either, and indeed both. Following a dubious-looking relegation in the previous round, Hamill grabbed promotion back up to the A races with a victory in the B race at Doonbank. The standout performance of the race, however, probably goes to Gavin McKellar of Ayr Burners, who eventually finished third. He made up several places and got within 10 seconds of Hamill before some wayward race tape put an end to his challenge for victory. Rhys Donnelly, who had shot off the front at the beginning of the race, snatched the second step of the podium, or should I say, beer crate of the podium. All three riders are promoted to the A races along with Ross Johnson and Colin Molson, who finished 4th and 5th respectively. Sian Tovey once again took the top spot as first woman in the B races, her 12th place overall, leaving her a bit short of a finish that might have saw her challenge some of the faster women in the A races next week. She will, however, have Erica Allen of VC Milan to contend with at Beveridge Park. More on that in a moment. The B race riders probably experienced the course at its most enjoyable, and as usual made things more challenging for the A race riders by cutting up the course. This led to some DNFs which were far from mechanical in nature. Let's just say Ayr Burners still have a few unclaimed dummies they retrieved from the side of the course after the A race had finished. Once again, Stephen Jackson of Glasgow United got off to a fine start, but by lap 2 it was James McCallum of What's Your Meta who was leading the race. Jackson appeared to suffer from some mechanical issues, and then it was McCallum's turn with a double puncture. So by lap 3 the race favourite was at the pointy end of the race. This was, of course, Davy Lyons of Wheelbase. He may have got there sooner, but for a spot of exhibitionist diving to delight the onlooking spectators. Once established at the front, Lyons never looked back. Gary MacDonald of Hope Racing had to grab his second bike on lap 3, which dropped him into 10th position, but he quickly established his claim for second position, which he regained on lap 5 and never lost it again. Stevie Cooper of Glasgow United grabbed the final step of the podium with what looks to have been a very consistent and sensible ride in the tough conditions. While other riders suffered mechanicals around him, Cooper forged on relatively trouble-free. His experience of riding muddy courses no doubt came into play. On a course like this, Maddie Robinson was always going to look the favourite up against Anne Ewing, who doesn't excel on tricky courses like this one, but her teammate Erica Allen was the rider who was initially her main challenger. Allen, however, suffered mechanical problems that saw her roll in third last. Her tenacity in keeping going also saw her relegated to the B races for the next round. Anyone thinking this move was deliberate on her part just needs to have a look at my inbox to know that this isn't the case. On the 5th lap, it looked like Robinson and the WV Breda rider were going to have another one of those close finishes we've been used to seeing in the SCX series. However, in the following laps, Robinson was able to distance Ewing and finish 6 places ahead of her in the race overall. This gave her a substantial points grab over Ewing and brought the two riders closer together in the overall series standings. With the Bonus course favouring Ewing and Robinson not riding at Beveridge Park, Robinson's victory might not have been enough to wrestle the first female spot from Ewing. It will make the race between them at Bonus very interesting to watch nonetheless. With Allen tumbling through the placings, it gave Elizabeth Adams of Glasgow Green CC the opportunity to get onto the women's podium without much of a challenge. She was too far from both Ewing and Robinson to join the fight for first and second, but her placing suggests she might have had an interesting battle with Erica had she not suffered from her mechanical woes. And with that, the series placings are now beginning to take shape, with Lyons at the top and impressively Ian Dunlop sits in second place. There's not a great deal between the top 5 places, to be fair, with Stevie's Jackson and Cooper in 3rd and 4th place respectively, and James McCallum in 5th. The competition for first woman in the series looks rather close between Anne Ewing of WV Breda and VT Mulan's Maddie Robinson. They can gain significant points on one another by not only finishing ahead of one another, but also by putting as many other riders in the gap between them as they can. The next round of the Superquake takes place at Kirkcaldy in the Kingdom of Fife for the second edition in the same season of the Beveridge Park Grand Prix of Cyclocross on February the 7th. One thing is for certain, the course will ride very differently from how it did in September, and knowing organiser John McComsky, there will be more than a few surprises in store for us. Goodbye for now, and thanks for watching.
Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey.